everybody. Welcome to Grace and Fire. My name is Glenda. I am absolutely excited for today's guest. She is an awesome soil sister and somebody that I met when she came over and was a guest on my mother's channel. She is an inspiration to me. She is an urban homesteader. And you know what? She is the reason why I started a YouTube channel. That's right. Not even my mother could do it, but who I'm bringing up, she could do it. So without further ado, let me introduce Sherrie from Black's Tropical Homestead. Hey, Sherrie,
Hey,
welcome.
how you doing?
I am so good. And I am so honored that you're taking time to be on my channel because you are the inspiration for me saying yes to going on YouTube. Like, I just was like,
I know. I was like, come on. We need to see the chickens. We need to share your knowledge. It's community building. So I am so glad that you decided to, to press go and start your own channel. It's going to be beautiful.
oh, I love it. But I'll tell you what, more importantly, I love what you're doing with your channel. You are creating community and family with the soil family and really encouraging people to step out of their comfort zone and try gardening, maybe even some chickening. And you've got into herbal medicine with the tinctures and that kind of things. And that's not all. So you're freeze drying and you tried canning, but I think you like freeze drying a little bit more, right?
Yeah, I do like freeze drying more, but we still can. We do still can
Yeah.
a little bit. So
You, there is so much that you do. And I'd like to hear, I've been talking too much, but I want to hear more about the reason that you started a YouTube channel and what the vision is for you going forward.
So we decided to my first. Let me start by saying I was not the gardener. My husband is. He's been growing bananas for 20 something years, and we during the pandemic we brought our friend home. Sandy passed away on her 108th birthday, and after that, I tried to figure out what's next. What am I going to do next? And my husband did not want me out there working in a nursing home, hospital, or because I am a nurse, but I retired due to injury. So he said, "How about just stay home and take care of the home?" You know, um we had a little he had a little garden and his banana plants, and I decided let me get out here and find out what this gardening life is about a little bit. So we did. We got chickens and started that. And finally in September, about 15 months ago or so, I said, hey, how about we just make some videos and put them on YouTube so that grandkids and nieces and nephews and, can always look back and say, oh, okay, they were able to do this. Maybe we can teach them something. We had no clue that this was a thing. People hang out on YouTube and look forward to seeing each other. We just YouTube things when we need to fix something and didn't hit the like button, didn't subscribe. We didn't, just poor supporters. But once we started posting videos, we learned quickly that it's a community here and it's beautiful. So we wanted to build our community and here we are.
I can relate to you because I was a poor supporter of other channels as well. I never was part of a community with like-minded people
Yeah.
in this capacity. But I did follow several YouTube channels. We were talking backstage, one of them being Lead Farmer 73. I had been following him for years and years and years.
Yes.
And his wife, when she started her channel, I actually went over under a different name, not under Grace and Fire.
Mhm.
Um, and I never hit that button, and I was too afraid to chit chat with
Yes.
people. But yeah, I absolutely can sit back and say I did the same thing.
No, it would be so many people. Like I can remember the sugarcane pimp. during Christmas when with the socks and the shoes. And I'm like, this guy is hilarious. Oh my God. And I would watch and listen. And I said, there's no point in me saying anything. There's too many people in the chat. So I would just listen and I did not subscribe because I said, what's the purpose in me paying to subscribe, not knowing it was free? And, I didn't know that that is what helped push him out in the algorithm and show him to more people. But now, that we understand the importance of hitting that thumbs up, leaving a comment, and watching videos. You never know what you'll learn in these videos. So it's a beautiful community. But we have been blessed to meet Led Farmer in person and hang out with him and Lady Led and spend time with him. Beautiful couple.
Oh
Beautiful.
my goodness. Yeah, I would love to meet him. And the other one that I followed for a long time was Lady Cheryl. I don't know if you follow her or not.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
what an incredible, inspiring gal. I would love to just throw my arms around her. She's just that type of a person.
Yeah, yeah. She like that auntie.
She is. She is. And she keeps it real too. Like, I'm gonna tell you how this works and I love it. I
Yeah,
sit back and so does my husband. So we both watch her and
yeah,
so
yeah. That's the
wonderful.
the thing with this YouTube platform. I think any platform is you got to be yourself, and being yourself. I don't speak proper English, or sometimes a curse word may slip out, or we make mistakes when we cook and we drop things, and things happen in the garden, and it's okay. That's you being you. Just keep it moving. Oops, and keep it moving. But to try to seem perfect is not, it's not a good look. So definitely want to be yourself. And that's what draws to each other is when you're being yourself.
Exactly, exactly. Well, I make mistakes all the time too, and I've been gardening for well over a decade, and I can tell you that I've made way too many mistakes. And then
Yep.
even with our hens, I've made mistakes even with the
Yeah.
hens too. That's life, you
Oh
know?
yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
That's how you learn. You don't learn if you don't try. And sometimes we make mistakes. You learn. It's a learning curve.
mhm. Yeah. And then so you had hens at one time and now you've got bunnies and quail, correct?
And hens.
Oh, you do have hens.
Yeah. So we went back. So what happened
Oh,
was
I missed
somebody
that.
somebody complained,
Uh-huh.
but so what we did was we tried to raise pigs in the suburbs.
Oh, I remember the pigs. Yep.
1 acre. And, I'm still grateful for that experience because it let me know when we are blessed and upgrade to a bigger property, can we do pigs or not? Or is this something we want to do? We
Absolutely.
love raising pigs. So we will definitely, entertain raising pigs. But what we do know now from raising applewood and bacon in our backyard and putting 130, 150 pounds of meat in the freezer, we do want to process our own pigs. So we purchased pigs from Kinfolk Farm. We drove, I think it was about a 3 hour drive to pick these pigs up. Now, if we can pay somebody to raise pigs or purchase a pig from someone, we will definitely bring that pig home and break it down ourselves. So we learned a lot. We learned a lot. We
Absolutely.
definitely love the process of being able to process our own meat.
And it's so much better too. I'm sure the quality is impeccable and the
Yeah,
taste, having that homegrown and
yeah,
knowing where that animal started at and
yeah.
giving it a wonderful life
A
while
wonderful
it was here, which makes for better quality meat
meat.
for
Yep.
sure.
Yeah. A lot of people don't understand that, they would say, oh my God, I would sit in that pen with those pigs and play with them for hours every day. And people would say, I wouldn't be able to, process them out in a couple months. But I do the same thing with our meat birds and rabbits and quail. They all serve so many purposes, but I'm going to give them the best life because I want them to in turn give us the best meat, the best product. So, and not only do they feed my husband and I, our animals, our dogs, We make dog treats, and I have I'm making bone broth with the rabbit carcass now. But what I'm doing is I'm breaking it down in the crock pot for a couple days, and I'll put it in the blender, and it'll be like Alpo. But these are animals that were born and raised right here. I'll add, my peas and sweet potatoes or whatever to it, and make dog food. So these animals feed not only us but our animals, our dogs too.
Absolutely. And your dogs are benefiting from all of that.
Yeah.
I can't grow animals and butcher them where I live. I live in the city,
Yeah.
and our rules are so strict. We're not even allowed to have chickens, but I have a friend that lets me put my chickens on their property. So
Yeah.
that's where my girls live at. But I support local. I have a cousin that has a farm,
Mhm.
and I tell you, I just picked up $100 worth of hamburger. So I think there was, I want to say like 25 pounds of
Mm.
ground beef.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, the
The fat.
quality
The,
is phenomenal. And I have a chicken right now in my freezer, and I need to pull it out because I am
have
so
you ever
excited.
had? So you've never had homegrown or home raised chicken, always
No,
from the store. It
yes.
is a huge difference. It's a huge difference. But I was telling you, we got rid of the chickens because once they said you can't have pigs, and we were like, well, we can get rid of the pigs because they are eating everything. 6 inches of dirt they had
Oh
plowed
my,
through and were eating all of the wood chips, the pallets we will put out there for them to sleep on. They were eating everything. So we butchered the pigs out, and they told us we had to get rid of chickens. Chickens are not permitted in this area.
okay.
But when we ride around, leaving the neighborhood and coming back, we see like 4 or 5 residents, and the chickens are free ranging all over the place. And I said, why did they tell us we can't have chickens? So I
Yeah.
could not make myself purchase eggs from a store. Where we took our girls to, she said, well, I got a couple dozen of eggs from your girls. You have eggs here. You can come pick them up. While we were
Oh,
there, we picked up 4 of our girls, 5 of our 4, because one of them stayed here the whole time.
oh,
And
I forgot about that. Yeah.
she slept in the banana plant, and I finally put her back in the pen, and we got a few of our girls. So we have chickens for eggs, and we do raise our own meat birds also.
Oh, I think that's phenomenal. Well, just this is my personal opinion, but I totally disagree with city ordinances that ban chickens. That is my personal opinion. And being a chicken owner legally, with my girls being in the county and I'm in
Mhm.
the city, I've looked at every ordinance that my city has.
Mhm.
And honestly, taking care of those birds is no different than taking care of a dog or a cat. In my personal opinion, this is not of Sherry's opinion, this is mine.
It's no
um,
difference.
I absolutely disagree with the city ordinances, and I've had many conversations with our council.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
trying to shine a light on
yeah,
it,
yeah.
a
And
positive light.
I think that light need to be shined. It's
Mhm.
nothing wrong. I don't want to stand the big deal with chickens, like you said. We have dogs and cats,
Yeah,
so birds. You can have a bird. I can have a pet bird in my house, but I can't
yeah.
have chickens. I can have fish. So what's the big deal? Long as you are keeping them clean and maintain, they not all over in people's yard, and chickens won't leave home for the most part.
No, and they're not dirty. I think a lot of people, this is my experience of running into people talking about it, as um, they've been by a poultry house
Hmm.
and they've got that smell and that sound in their ears,
Yeah.
and in their head. And quite frankly, it's not the same. I've
Same.
had many people come up to my coop and go, it doesn't stink. And I went, well, that's because it's maintained properly. That it's not, and it's not really hard.
Yeah,
It's
it's not
super
hard.
easy.
Yeah, yeah. The
Yeah.
girls like to be clean, so that's why they dust bathe. That's a form of cleaning themselves, and that's natural for them. So
Hmm.
I say chickens. Chickens are therapeutic.
Oh, Yes, and I've turned into this crazy chicken mom who loves her hens
Yes,
so
yeah,
much, so
yes.
much. We just lost our first one. We haven't had any pass away. We had the original nine up until just a few days ago,
Mhm.
and it was hard,
Yeah.
but chicken math became a thing, and by that evening, more little girls were put on order. So we're going to have three new ladies join our flock this
Yeah,
summer.
yeah. I hatched my friend when we went to get eggs, she said, and of course chickens. She said, "Well, I have these silver lace Wyandottes." She said, "These are the eggs that are fertile." And I separated the eggs just in case. She said, "I haven't been successful with incubating eggs." She gave me 12 eggs. We have 9 babies that I just kicked out. But I was like, if I don't put them outside now, I'm going to keep them in the house forever. But I finally put them outside and they are doing great. But
Oh,
chicken
that's
math is real.
it is real. It is real. I got a call over Christmas from my friend of mine that has a farm,
Mhm.
and they asked if they could bring the rooster down for a visit with our girls. They love the egg colors that we've got. And we have one girl that does pink eggs, which is really weird, but she does pink eggs. And I think that they want to get some of hers. And there's another girl that they're looking for. So we
Yeah.
might be renting a rooster this
That's right.
summer.
That's right. I love the rainbow. That's how I ended up with 20 chickens. Even though after the first 6, my husband was like, "That's it." And I kept and kept going because I'm like, "Oh my God, Easter eggs, you can get this color and that color and this color. We got brown, we got white, but we have to have tan and these greens and blues." I'm like, "Babe, we can't just stop there." So we ended up with 20 chickens, which was too much. It was. It was too
Well,
much.
we will have 11 as long as all the girls make it. We will have 11. My husband wanted Polish
Mhm.
chickens.
I love them.
And for those who don't know, they got a big plume and then it comes in like to their eyes
Yeah,
here.
like a
And so,
blob.
yeah, I told him, I said, I'm not really certain that the 8 originals will I know that they peck on each other, but I'm not
Mhm.
sure that it would be a wise idea just because they wouldn't be able to see with that plumage like in
Yeah,
their eyes.
yeah.
So we are getting 2 identical, well, I mean, type chickens, and they've got the mohawk. It
Okay.
kind of hangs up, and I laugh about it because I mean that does still look funny to
Yeah.
me.
But
Hmm.
chicken math is real. So I always tell people, even though you say, "I'm only going to get 4 and that's it," just build a big enough pen because it's hard to stop. It is. And
It
it's okay.
really is. I absolutely agree with that. I wanted 6, and so everybody told me buy 2 extras just in case, you lose them as chicks, so I
Mhm.
did. And then, being a new chicken keeper, um, I didn't know, what all they needed, so I did all the research, and when I got to checkout with Meyer Hatchery, it said meal maker, and I clicked it, and I didn't know what that meant truly for 4 weeks. So I instead of getting 8 birds, I got 9. And at the 4th week, I finally realized what it was. And it's a program that Meyer Hatchery has where you can get a free bird,
Mhm.
and they'll try to get it as close to your order. Like if you're ordering females, you'll get a female. If you're getting a meat bird, then you'll get a meat bird. If you're getting
Mhm.
straight run, it'll be along those lines.
Yeah.
So you donate either the eggs or the meat of that bird to somebody in need to pay it forward,
Okay. That's
which is
good.
a really awesome program that they've got. So
Yeah.
that's why I ended up with 9, and Minnie is my meal maker.
Oh, okay. Miss Minnie.
Miss Minnie is the meal maker.
Yeah.
Yes, the one that had a traumatic brain injury.
Yeah.
Cost me a lot of money to go to a vet to find out what that was all about.
But you got
Uh,
her straight.
I did. I did. I laughed about it for a while because my husband also had a brain injury, and
Mhm.
so I not that I laugh about this situation, but in my own personal, I'm like, I am a caregiver for 2 with brain injuries.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
So
That's right.
yeah,
You're doing your job.
I am. But she did a recovery for the most part. Every now and then she walks backwards,
Mhm.
but she can walk forward and she still lays eggs and she still talks to my husband and she runs to him and
That's good.
it's all good.
Yeah, they share stories about their injuries. That's
They
okay.
do. It's a
That's
camaraderie, a chicken
right.
and a man.
That's great. That is amazing.
But I want to hear more about the Soil Family Expo. You just had one last year, and so the second annual is coming up April 1st, to make sure I say that correctly.
Yes.
So I'd
That,
like to hear about that.
so Soil Family Expo, we wanted to bring our virtual community to life. Even and I always say, even though we are very real people, you still don't know each other because you've
Right,
never met. So we met a few people and it was like, wow, this person is actually who we see online. Um, we wanted to have a little meetup here in Savannah. And we decided, okay, we'll do this meetup this weekend, just something around the fountain downtown and have dinner, people that's local or close by. So of course, people like Broke Farmer and because they're right here, we thought it would be great. And then Andale would say, "Oh, I'm coming. I'll be there." And Lion Crest, and we were like, "Well, you live in Texas, but okay." Cali Pooh Bear, I'm driving from California, and we were like, wait a minute." Um, we partner up with Savannah Children's Museum, which I tell people don't underestimate that children's museum. If you are a gardener, you definitely want to go there. They have vegetable gardens, they have fruit trees, they have a herb garden. It is amazing. And they teach and talk to the kids about gardening, which is very important, to start them while they are young. So to be able to partner with them and invite our virtual community to Savannah to help encourage and teach growing gardening, it's amazing. So we decided to make it a Soil Family Expo, a weekend event of food, family, and fun. And the first year was totally successful. So we decided to bring it back every year now.
well, I watched everybody's hashtags last year and I saw some dancing going on. I
Lots of
saw
dancing.
I saw children playing in the dirt, which is always
Yes.
like brings me so much joy that the next generation is learning about gardening.
Yeah.
Um, and I saw lots of smiles and laughs, and
Yes.
it genuinely, for being somebody who didn't attend the event, on being a viewer watching it,
Mhm.
it looked like it was the it place to be. I
It
mean,
was great. It was great. We
gosh,
met Sunday Backyard Farmer and Jess Dorsher, who are husband and wife. We met them maybe 2, 3 weeks prior to the Soil Family Expo because they were nervous. They were like, okay, we're gonna meet a bunch of strangers, including
yeah,
Black Tropical. But Dorsha had to come to Savannah to work. She said, well, maybe we can meet up for dinner, get to try to break the ice a little bit. And that's why we do this meet and greet on Friday to try to ease everybody's mind. This year we decided to step meet and greet up a little bit. Um, so make sure because we want to see Grace and Fire and her husband there and his service dog. Make sure you
yeah,
bring your dancing shoes. But it's an amazing time. Nobody it did not feel like we were meeting strangers at all.
yeah.
At all. And people traveled from New York, I mean all over Florida, different parts of Georgia, the Carolinas, Virginia, Texas, California. I mean, it was amazing. And this year it's gonna be bigger and better.
It looks like it. I mean, yeah. Oh, and you guys are gonna go deep sea fishing too,
Yes.
correct?
Yes. So my husband is the fisher. He is the
Yes,
fisher. But
yes.
I will, I go fishing because my husband loves it. I will sit on a boat all day. And of
Mm.
course I'll fish a little bit. We did post a video a couple weeks ago of me catching that 30
Yes.
pound fish. So
Oh my gosh, I put that up on the TV and I showed my husband and
woo,
he
love to fish. And a lot of people, they don't have that luxury. When we want to go fishing, we just make a plan. Okay, this day we'll go fishing. I'll make sandwiches and we'll pack a cooler and take the boat 10 minutes down the road and we out on the ocean. But everybody don't have that luxury of free seafood. We can cast for shrimp and we can put out nets for crabs, and we got a low country boil. So my husband wanted to include fishing, and that'll be that Thursday, the 30th. We'll do a deep sea fishing trip.
Oh, I think that would be a lot of fun. We don't have that option where I live at. We just have the Ohio River where I'm at. And the only thing you really want to do out of it, and I know this is going to sound awful, but really bow fishing is
Yeah,
what's big in our area.
yeah.
And so it is a lot of fun. I've been bow fishing. I have a fun bow fishing story. Maybe one day I'll share it.
Yeah, you
But
can.
yeah, deep sea fishing is something I have never done because well, I mean, I've lived near the ocean a couple of times, but we never were into it when I was a little girl. But to me,
Yeah.
that sounds like something that would be a ton of fun.
Yes, yes.
And
Will, when I first met my husband, he was a police officer at the time, and he was about an hour and 15 minutes or so from Savannah.
mm,
So he was a little closer to Jacksonville, Florida. So
oh,
we would go to Jacksonville to fish and go deep sea. I would fix like 30 sandwiches because my husband eat a lot. And we would go and spend the day on a charter boat and fish. It was so amazing just to be out there. It's beautiful. You might be out there with 30, 40 other people, but it was amazing. So we wanted to open the door and give people the option to be able to go fishing.
oh, I would think that that would be so much fun, and I know people will enjoy it. And so I expect to see lots of fish. Y'all reel them in.
Yes, lots of fish. At least look, it's called fishing.
Yeah.
So
Get
we're gonna
those
do
poles in the water.
that's at least. Yeah, yeah, but it'll be fun. It the whole experience of Soil Family Expo is just beautiful. Meeting people, and you connect with them, and you carry on this lifelong friendship once you meet them. So
Well, friendship in this community is key. I have been a gardener and a canner for over 10 years. Well,
mhm,
actually, 2011 is when I started.
okay.
So, gosh, that's been a long time. But I never identified as a homesteader, and not even when I got my chickens, or actually, I had them on order. I went to an event, um, and where like minded people got together. There were a couple of people who had smaller YouTube channels, and so the
Mhm,
cameras were out, and I was like, what
mhm,
is this about? And the event was really just for free seeds. It was right before the pandemic hit in our area,
mhm.
so it was nice to be able to see everybody. And, um, you know, I really appreciated that sense of community,
Yeah,
but I didn't have it on YouTube. And I really genuinely love what you've done with Soil Family, just to bring people together. It is YouTubers, but then you do have some that aren't. I
yeah,
remember you having a few that just showed up that were supporters.
yep.
Um, which is awesome. I mean, I would have done that in a heartbeat. Without a YouTube channel, I would have been the one to show up because I actually did it.
Yeah, yeah. It's a community event. It's open to the public. We don't charge. The only thing we charge for is the children's museum. I think it's $10 to get in that Saturday. We charge $40 for a Soil Family dinner, which is all you can eat, all you can drink, non-alcoholic beverage, dessert, and that take care of your meal, tax, and tip. But it's all you can eat. It's family style Southern dinner. We sit down as a family, and is can you pass me the fried chicken, please?
That is a bargain. $40?
$40, all you can eat, and we'll have 3 to 4 meats, sides, dessert, beverages, whether you want soda, sweet tea, water, but you have the option to purchase a glass of wine or,
Sure.
whatever. So, other than that, everything is open to the public. People can just walk up and mingle with us, enjoy the band, and dance with us, and they may get caught on video.
I
But
think I remember seeing some video of dancing out there. There's a few of them from
oh
last
yeah,
year.
and they'll loves to dance.
I wasn't
You
going
know,
to mention who I saw, but yes, it was Aunt Dale.
she loved to dance. My husband loves to dance, so those two together, you gotta have music. You gotta have music, and
Oh,
it's beautiful. It's beautiful. But it,
well,
it get us outside of the garden and the homestead and the farming a little bit, and it show a little bit of your personality, a little bit more of your personality. So it's great. It's not just all about farming and doing, and we do give away tons and tons of
I
seed.
saw that. I
So
saw
we
that.
want to make sure people grow. That's
Well, you don't leave away empty-handed. Now it's time to go home and get that garden started. Take the
right.
lessons and let's get you going and get
That's
you
right. That's
moving.
right. Last year we gave them gloves, the claws, and shear, tons of seeds, soil family T-shirts, a backpack. So we made sure you had no excuse to drop a seed.
That's it. That's it right there. And I love that because the more that we can get people to garden, any living situation, you can garden, and there's no excuse for this. So
Yes.
it's about trying that freshness and seeing the difference because I do shop at grocery stores, but I love what comes out of my garden more because
That's
it
right.
tastes so good and it's
That's
so
right.
fresh. And it's
Yeah.
hard to describe to somebody until you actually get out there and get
And
your
do it.
hands in the dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I wish I could grow broccoli all year round. I just want to go out there
Mm.
and snip my broccoli right off the plant and bring it in the house and cook it. Delicious. But you don't know if you've never tried it.
No, you don't. You don't. Mine for me would be banana trees. I seriously I watch those videos where Bobby's doing things with his banana trees, chopping it down or harvesting or whatnot. And I'm like, that's the one thing I would love to try. I have to buy those at the grocery store, which is
Yeah,
fine,
yeah.
but I'm sure to have it homegrown, it is
Oh my
off
God.
the charts.
I cannot buy a store when we traveling and these hotels have bananas for breakfast, and I'm like, I want a banana, but I can't eat that banana. No more store banana. I'm like, man, I want a banana, but I cannot make myself. And he'll get it. He'll say, well, I can eat one, and he'll bite it one time. Nope.
It's there. Oops, sorry. It is bitter. I think probably isn't it, or a little bit kind of dry or something to it. I've heard somebody talk about it once before.
I
The
can't
difference.
explain the taste. The homegrown, well, I love the manzano, which is an apple flavored banana. It is a whole new world compared to what you buy at the store. They all pretty much taste the same, a little bland, not as sweet as, your homegrown. My husband fried bananas last night. He said, I'm gonna fry some bananas. I was like, okay. But it's amazing to be able to grow and harvest your own bananas.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I bet it's so good. I feel the same way about tomatoes.
Mhm.
I like what Jess's quote from Roots and Refuge. She says, "Store bought tomatoes taste like disappointment," and
Yeah, yeah,
I
they
feel the
do.
same way about tomatoes. And I really am about the eggs too. I had to purchase eggs because I had company over Christmas. But if it weren't for the company that visited us, I would not have purchased eggs
Yeah, yeah.
because what my girls give us,
It's a
so
huge
good.
difference. And then the price. Let's not talk about that. But I
Oh
could
my gosh,
that
yes.
letting our girls go for those few weeks. I would go in the store and I'm like, I'll wait a couple days and get eggs. And then I will come back home. So as soon as we got those girls back and eggs, I freeze dried some. But now they have been laying like crazy. But oh my God, I said, I will never ever take my chickens for granted.
No, no, I don't. I went ahead when the girls were going hard and heavy with laying eggs, and I couldn't give them away because nobody was taking them. This
Yeah.
is like at the beginning of last spring. I freeze dried all of my eggs because it's like, what do you do with them, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
And I am so grateful I did because that's what's getting me through this stretch. But I will be honest, the girls have not laid an egg as of the timing of this recording. I have not gotten an egg. Um, and I am okay because I'm eating oatmeal instead for breakfast.
yeah,
That's kind
right.
of as I am waiting for those girl eggs. Or if
Oh
I
yeah,
want scrambled eggs, then I'll get my freeze dried eggs and make scrambled. But like to have a fresh egg, to
yeah,
whole, I'm gonna
yeah.
wait and
And
choose that.
baking, I bake everything from scratch, so it's a
Oh yeah.
huge difference in baking, cooking.
There is. Again, I support my cousin who has a farm and
Hmm.
he raises pigs. And I purchased some sausage from him. And oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. I've
yeah,
got to with him to get some bacon. That's
yeah.
on my radar. He just had a sale on the sausage. So I purchased that.
And you can
And
make you. I mean, that sausage, being able to make it at home, you can make whatever flavor you want. If you want it a little higher or more sweeter, you can put more maple syrup in it. You can make it how you want. And my husband did great with making our homegrown sausage. He said, "Well, I use milk as the powdered milk as a combining agent, and it turned out great." I said, "Who would
mm,
have thought to make use milk, powdered milk?" But it turned out great. So that home sausage is perfect.
so good. And then recently we are getting into purchasing local milk.
Hmm.
And I find that just for myself, I'm not having allergy problems with the milk that's homegrown versus buying it elsewhere.
Yeah.
Um, and so I like it. In fact, I've got to go get another jar. My husband drank.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, you
I,
drank it up. I'm
I
like,
always say that, and that's what made me get into the apothecary um, line of duty. I feel like my opinion is what we buy at these stores, and that is what lead to our health issues. So
mm,
if we support local farmers or raise and grow as much as we can ourselves, you'll probably see a difference, including medication. I'm sure you'll see a difference in your health if you do a little work or a little homework. I always say, I put out a lot of shorts about the apothecary, even the videos. I always say, do your own research, because no
mhm.
matter what somebody tell you or somebody show you, it's still good to do your own research because we are all different.
Absolutely. And I believe in home medicines as well. What I appreciate with my provider, who also sees my husband, who is a wounded warrior,
Hmm.
is that she does believe in home remedies as well. So it's nice being able to have that conversation when you're working with your medical providers about home apothecaries and different
Yeah,
home medicines and trying those things first before you try certain prescription medications, which I'm not against the prescription medications, but I
yeah,
absolutely, if you can try it at the home level first and get that squared away and have a provider support you,
yeah, yeah.
and that's I love our provider for that very reason. I've
Oh
told her
yeah.
some of the things that I'm doing, like pain creams instead of a pill. I have a lot of arthritis in my
Hmm.
hands, and she is fully supportive of those homemade pain creams with arnica and cayenne pepper. She's totally for it. A
Yeah.
little bit of hops. That's the other thing. I just
Hmm.
got into growing hops last year, and
Good.
I didn't know too much about hops. Have you tried that one?
I haven't tried it yet, but I've done my research on it. So it is in the Encyclopedia of Herbal Medicine. So
Oh, I
yeah,
love that book. I need to get it. A friend of mine has it, so I've read through it and it looks like a good book. Well, we're
yeah.
using hops. Somebody on my channel had seen my girls' run and I was made a comment about how that I'm trying to figure out more shade.
Hmm.
And somebody had said, grow hops with your chickens and then run it up the fence and then you get the the protection from the sun for the
Mhm.
girls. They can get out of it in the heat of the summer, and then you get hops as a result. Like it's a win-win.
Yes.
And oh my goodness, I appreciated that comment. I went and I purchased starts online, and then when spring came around, I potted it or put it down in the ground,
Mhm.
and it grew up. And the first year, I mean, it went really far. They say
Wow.
it expands as it grows, so I can't wait to see what this spring brings.
Yeah. I always say, what apothecary is it's a lot, but it's
Mhm.
so interesting because it's like, oh wow, this we had nothing to do with the cayenne. My husband would cook every now and then. Most of the time, 99.9% of the time I cook. He'll cook
Mhm.
every now and then. He used cayenne pepper, and I never use it, never. So we were just growing hundreds and hundreds of cayenne pepper, and I'm like, okay, I'll dehydrate it and put it in a bag. But finally got the freeze dry, and I said, I'll freeze dry it, make cayenne powder.
Mhm.
And then I said, well, I can make a tincture with it, cayenne sour, which is great for arthritis and
Mhm.
so many aches and pains. And he had he is a gym fanatic, and he something going on with his shoulder. I took that cayenne salve and rubbed his shoulder. So many things that you have no clue. Corn silk for bladder health. I mean, we grow these things, and then we toss them in the compost or give them to the chickens. But it's so many medicinal benefits there that won't break your other organs down. So these things are important to know because one day we may have to resort to just that. So it's good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One of the other things, I'm not sure if it was in that book or not, but I love tea tree.
Hmm.
I got hooked on that one. We used to live in England many years ago, and my children went to the British school systems.
Hmm.
And so for those in the States, it's a little different than being
Yeah.
over there. And my daughter brought home lice.
Hmm.
Her head was completely filled with lice. And I went and I purchased products that we'd normally do because I had an American store that I had access to. And I purchased the products that we all think of when we think of lice in the United
Yeah.
States.
Yeah.
And it went nowhere. Like I couldn't get rid of it. I'd never dealt
Mhm.
with lice. And I'm like, oh, well, my neighbor was Welsh, and she came over and she said, Glenda, go get you some tea tree oil.
That's all.
And I went, "Are you serious?" And she
Yeah.
said, "It'll work better than anything that you can purchase." And I'll be darned, within 24 hours, it was gone. And then we came back to the United States. My daughter went to camp. And of
Hmm.
course, in the United States, nurses, or at least when my kids were in school, nurses would send you home if you had it.
Yes.
So she went up to camp, and her best friend came back. Her best friend had real thick curly hair. I mean, just it's awful thick. And it freaked her mother out that she had lice because she's like, how am I going to get that out of her hair? And I'm like, I gotcha. Let me get the tea tree. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I within 24 hours it was gone. Sent both the girls back to school. The nurse didn't believe me. The nurse. And I'm like, check their heads. And sure enough, she goes, what did you use? And I said, tea tree. So I
Tree.
always tell people, I am a tea tree person, and keep it in the
Yes.
shampoo. If you're concerned about it, keep it in the shampoo.
Yeah, yeah. Tea tree oil is one that you should always have around. The essential oil, but tea tree is great for so many things. Like these herbs are great for so many things. So
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah, and
amazing.
I love the cayenne too. I know somebody who uses it for weight loss
Hmm.
and is having great success with it.
Yeah,
Of
yeah,
course, I've not tried it, so I can't speak to that, but I've just watched somebody do it,
yeah.
and
I
it
do use it for weight loss, but I always say it's good to clean your diet up, at least some. If you drink soda or eat a lot of snacks or cakes or pies or something, if you cut that back, not saying you have to cut it all the way out because you want to make it a lifestyle, not just a immediate change, and then shock your body or feel like I can never have the good stuff. Everything in moderation, but I use cayenne with warm water and lemon.
Oh,
And
I've not heard of it mixed.
I use the cayenne tincture, with lemon, honey, and sometimes I'll put vinegar in it. And I just drank it like a cup of coffee. It killed the cravings during the day and it helped cut belly fat. So it's great. It warm your body up. But we'll do that for maybe 2 weeks and then we'll take a 2 or 3 day break and then we'll go back to it. But it's just like drinking a cup of coffee in the morning. It doesn't taste bad. You know, the honey is optional, and it's a nice drink that can help promote healthy weight loss. But walking and
Mm,
a decent diet is always plus with that.
absolutely. That's what I'm working on right now. I have some medical, and so I have to be very careful with what I'm doing. But I have
Mhm.
two trainers involved. And so when I go to the gym, I'm doing bodybuilding, and I've been
Yeah,
doing it for about 6 weeks, and it's really improved so many facets in my own life is working out. So and then changing to the whole foods.
yeah.
I went to the grocery store, oh gosh, like 2 or 3 days ago, and my husband was just being nosy. He wasn't purchasing, but he was walking down the candy and he goes, "Look at this. This is odd. Look at this. This is odd." And I used to crave that. Like when he would pull that number, it was like, I want that chocolate. I want that
Hmm.
sweet. Let's get it in the cart. And do you know, we walked out and I thought, no, I'm not interested in it. And, just making
Good.
that lifestyle change and getting back into the good foods, the homegrown foods
Yeah,
or just whole foods in general and
yeah.
eating right, like purchasing meats from a local farm and
That's right.
milk locally, it really changes a lot. Now, have
Yeah,
I lost weight? No, but I've had blood work done and my
and
numbers all
oh yeah.
within normal range, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, you got to make that gradual change, and we all want to be healthy. We want to be healthier. Some of us want to lose weight. Some people want to gain weight, but
Mhm,
you have to mentally make that change and make that lifestyle change and make it simple so that you can continue it and not fall off the wagon. Because when you fall off the wagon, it come back 10 times
right.
worse.
And I think you gotta give yourself grace if you fall off and just go, "Okay, it's behind me. I'm
Oh
doing it.
yeah,
I learned my lesson. Let's move forward,"
yeah, yeah,
But I really love the tinctures and I love the home foods and I love being able to, that's all the source of it. And it's what I grow. I can never say I grow organic just
mhm,
because my garden sits next to farmland
yeah,
and I don't know what's being sprayed.
yeah, yeah,
But it is what it is. You live with what you got. But I choose to use organic
yeah,
because I'm trying to get it as natural as possible,
yeah, yeah.
and I love knowing that there's nothing added that I've done, in
That's
my
right.
own control,
That's right. Yeah.
you know? Yeah, yeah. Well, I wanna know if you wanna play a quick, fun, quick question round with me. There's
Sure.
no wrong answers, okay? No, I've got my beautiful pot here, for
Okay.
gardening, and there's my questions in here, and, if there's a question you don't feel comfortable answering, say skip. And
Okay.
I am okay with that, so don't feel forced, okay? But
Okay.
I think they're pretty fun. I don't think there's anything real serious here. It's all pretty lighthearted, okay?
Yep.
All right. So, my first question is a place that you want to travel the most.
Jamaica.
Oh,
I've been
yes.
there, but I want to go back.
I have never been, and I would
Yeah.
love to go. It looks like a gorgeous place, and the food looks so good too
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. So I want to go now. I'm a different adult now than I was when I went the first time. I was a wild adult then. So now I'm more laid back. But I want to go there to the new resort.
Oh, yeah. See it through older eyes and
Yeah.
really soak
Yeah.
in all the goodness of it.
Yes. Tropical fruit. That's our thing.
Oh, yes. Oh, I bet it's nice there.
Yeah.
Well, I think this one's a no-brainer for me, but I'm gonna ask the question. Big dogs or small dogs?
Huge dogs.
For those who don't know, Sherry has 2 gorgeous Rottweilers, Thor and Nala.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Oh
And
my
we have
goodness.
babies coming in a few weeks. So exciting.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it's so exciting.
Yeah.
Uh, who inspires you?
My husband.
Oh, I like that one.
I gotta say my husband because we spend so much time together, and you know, we sit and watch each other grow. So he inspired me a lot to be better and to do better.
He seems like he would be that kind of person.
Yeah. He doesn't say much, but when I know I can do better and it make me feel good to see him enjoying something as simple as cooking something. You
Mhm.
know, he enjoy everything I cook, but I want to make sure, and that make me always feel like I can do better. So I gotta
Mhm.
say, my husband. I would
You know,
say, Sandy inspired me before she passed away, and she left a lot of inspiration. But my husband, every day.
I love that answer because I feel the same way about my own husband. He's a man of little words, but when
Yes.
he speaks, it's powerful.
Oh yeah. Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm. So what is your favorite day of the week?
Probably Sunday.
Okay.
Sunday we
Okay.
try to sit back and not do much, but spend time together. So it's getting ready for a new week, but I'll cook, a Sunday dinner, but pretty much laid back. I treat Sundays as a spa day for my husband. Sometimes I do a
Mm.
full body scrub and a facial, and but
Oh
Sunday,
my gosh, how wonderful. Oh, I love that. I'm
yes,
sure he feels so pampered. No,
yeah,
I mean seriously, that's so nice.
yeah. His mom
Oh.
called one day and she said, "What are y'all doing?" And I said, "Oh, I was doing his scrub," and she said, "What?" Full body scrub. I
I'm
make
so
some scrub, sugar scrub, and some type of clay mask, which we have one from Redmond's I need to try, but Sunday will be on Osaba, but I may do it tomorrow. But I love doing scrubs and just chilling on Sundays.
Oh, I love it. I'm surprised she didn't say, "What time can I be there?" Because that would be my response to my daughter in love. "What time? We're doing spa day. What time can I
Yeah.
come over?"
She was like, "What, that big man?" Yeah, yeah. I tell them,
Oh, yeah, men do spa days all the time. I
yep,
mean, I go and whenever we went through a bunch of weddings, right? My kids all got married, and I would go get my nails done. I saw men in there all the time getting their
yep,
feet done, and I
yeah.
mean, that's such a normal thing.
Yeah, we used to get our feet done all the time. Now I'm just like, I can make some scrub and I can make it whatever scent I want. Sometimes I use some citrus or whatever, but I'd rather just do our scrub at home. And
Oh,
I feel like men deserve it too. Most of the time it's always just about, oh, I need my hair and nails done and this. Well, what about them?
I
They
wish I had a bell, so this is the closest thing I got. Ding, 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 ding. Men do deserve it.
yeah, they do.
Men absolutely
They
do.
do. And I
And
we actually I'm getting ready to start a new series, and it's about having girl talks and girl conversations about how I feel and my guests. I think me and Andell are gonna do this, and we'll have guests and we'll talk about how we feel about life as women and the things we go through, hysterectomies and menstrual things, and mental things. Just because we are all human and normal, but we don't want to forget life and act like our husbands don't matter because it should be all about me. Well, my husband make me feel like it's all about me, but I in
yes.
turn have to make it feel like it's all about him too.
Oh, absolutely. My husband, I make him go get a massage.
Yeah,
And we found somebody that is really, really good. She hooks him up, and my husband goes to the spa and gets a massage once a month. Now, I could do it at home, but one is trained more for
yeah, those
what
deep
he
muscles.
needs.
Yes,
Yeah,
right.
what he needs. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, the guys need to do this too. But
Oh,
hey, real quick, I love that idea of the girl talk.
oh, yeah, we're gonna start that. Monday will be our first day.
Oh, I
We're
mean,
trying to figure out what day will work great. So We'll play with a couple days. We'll have you on one of our girl talks.
I would love to because I'll tell you, there I am still learning. I call my mother all the time, like, "What is up with this?" But I wish I could just
Yeah,
have a girlfriend to,
yes.
just to
You know,
say, "Hey, what do you think?"
and I know it may be uncomfortable. We are traditional. We live a traditional life. I'm a housewife, and my husband pay all the bills, and he is the leader. But every household is different. But we all go through things, and yeah, it's times it's like, what? Who did I marry? Why did I marry him? But we need to have these conversations because it's normal and it's okay. But we need to
Yes,
know that other people have been through it. Like hysterectomies look different for everybody. Your
mm,
menstrual cycles look different from you. We are women, and most people don't want to hear about it. But then there are some people who need to hear about it, going through
that would
menopause and why am I freaking out right now? What can I do to calm these hot flashes? And I want to go outside and dig this hole for my husband. But
yeah,
what else can I do? What do you do to calm your brain or your nerves, or what do you do to show yourself some self love and care? So I think these are important conversations, even though we are homesteaders, we are still real people.
absolutely. And along that menopause, I think this is pretty funny. I asked one of my providers this question, and I'm going to share it. So I have Raynaud's, and I
Mhm.
have it really bad. So my question for her was, because we're looking for menopause to begin, and she's like, "Have you had hot flashes?" I said, "No, but my question is, when I have those hot flashes, does the freeze flash equal out the hot flash, and then I can slide right through normally?" And I had her roaring on the floor. She goes, "That's not how it works." I was like, "See, oh, it's going to be hard on me. I'm going to be hot, cold, hot, cold."
Yeah,
Lord.
but look into Black Cohosh. I'm gonna text you that name.
Text it to me because I
Those hot flashes. But that will help. I shared, we call it Queen's Comfort. I shared not a tincture. It's a tea blend with my best friend when she was sick. I said, "This is Queen's Comfort." I don't know what else to call it, but it's supposed to help us women. That's aging great. It's supposed to help us age more graceful,
mm,
going through these issues, and um. So we have to find things, but black cohosh is good for menopausing or premenopausal women. So you always want to try to start something early. These things are coming. I've had a hysterectomy. I knew
mhm,
that was going to drive my everything crazy, but I
mhm.
wasn't sure. I'm not sure when or how or if. So, you try to think of things that I can do to help myself along. And some people are worse than others, but these conversations will be great because we call out some of these herbs or some of the things that other people do that may work. Not saying everything will work for everybody, but you can
Yeah.
get some ideas and talk to women. And the guys can listen because it
Yeah.
may help them deal with their wives. It might make them feel, because I know it's days where he like, "What, she shut up? What is she?
Yeah.
Why is she talk?" I talk all the time. My husband
Yeah.
just like, "You talk too much sometimes." But he can hear that I'm not the only woman that talk a lot. We are women. We love to talk, and we cut our husbands
Absolutely.
off.
Yeah, I used to talk really fast, like 100 miles an hour, to like keep up with the speed, and that's how I used to talk.
Yeah, like
Um,
me.
and I know, and now my brain, because my husband had this brain injury, they told me he had to go to treatment in Atlanta,
Hmm.
Georgia, and they said, "Glenda, you need to
Slow it down.
slow down your speaking so
That's
he can
right.
under." So sometimes I have to like, okay, and so
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
miss that. But
yeah,
I
yeah,
realize that I realize how slow I talk
yeah.
now, but
Yeah,
that's
you have
because
to learn how to move different. Like now, I know at a certain time the house should be shut down, everything done. My husband has eaten, give him his dessert, light a candle, run your bath water, put some pink salt in there, salt rock or something, and sit and just,
absolutely.
whether you flip through YouTube or listen to music, but just sit because you have to have your alone time. So it's so much with, being a woman and keeping home happy, to where I think we could help each other, because mental illness is real, aging is real, but we
Mhm.
definitely need to be there for each other so that we can age gracefully and continue to share recipes. Oh, I fixed this for my husband. He absolutely loved it. And somebody else might say, "Oh, I can do this, but I can tweak it a little bit." So, and the guys could also, like I said, they can take tips. It's not just all about women, but it's helping us live together better.
Absolutely. And my husband would be receptive to that. His job when he was in the service was he worked in the medical field. So
Mhm.
sometimes we talk about that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, and he remembers things, thankfully, from his time in that medical side. And
Yeah.
of course, there are things that he has forgotten, but it's fun when he's receptive to some of the girly things that I've had to bring up, and he's very passionate and
Yeah.
caring, and I appreciate that about him. It's just and to have a good husband like that,
Yeah.
that
Yeah. 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 And
and
everybody not so understanding or just don't understand. But I think the more we have these uncomfortable conversations, maybe we'll learn to understand each other better, or respect each other better. I always talk about superpowers. And I got that from Sandy. What is your superpower? Her superpower, she saved an island. And her thing was, I saved an island. What's your superpower? So we all have them. We just have to learn to respect each other's superpower, even though we may not understand it fully.
Yeah, yeah, I so agree with that. And I had heard "What is your destiny?" is what I
Mhm.
heard, and where I'm at today is not where I thought I would be. And so, but there is purpose in life,
Yeah.
and knowing what that purpose is important even in those hardest of moments. And it's what keeps me going as a woman and a wife, and knowing that I'm just sharing just a little bit of mine, but just I thought I'd be a CEO of some executive or executive of some corporation. Like I thought it'd be top. I'm business minded,
Yeah.
but I never thought I would be here. But I'm also grateful for what I've learned too along the road.
Mhm.
So, well, I was wondering, do you have any questions for me?
I don't, but I did want to address that bloop that you keep hearing in the
That's
background.
okay. That's okay.
It
Yeah.
can be weird sometimes. Like when we laugh, I'm always like, bloop. And Dale said one day, I can hear that crop ferment and crop percolating. I'm like, okay, I just don't want people to think sound. So I am fermenting, I'm making vinegar, and that's what you hear. You know, I got a fermenting crop for Christmas and I started vinegar. And after the first 2 or 3 days it started bloop, bloop, and it's all day and all night. But it's a weird little noise, but that's what you'll hear it constantly in the background.
All good. That's gonna be awesome. Homemade vinegar.
Yes. And it's so simple. It's so simple. That's and I like sharing these little things because we overthink everything. It's like, oh, well, you peel apples and you're gonna throw it away, or pineapple, you don't eat the core, you can make tea with it. But you can definitely make apple cider vinegar with the peels of the apple, the core, a little bit of sugar, and spring water.
I'll tell you, there's one vinegar that I would love to learn, and that's to make fig balsamic vinegar.
Hmm. You should.
I buy it and I use it in my salads,
Hmm.
and it is so good. Even there's a Mediterranean one that has the garlic and the
Hmm.
rosemary and basil in it, and it is so good. And I want to learn to make that. That's
Yeah.
on my radar
It
that I
gotta
want to
be
learn.
simple. It's just infused. So if you make vinegar and just infuse it with fig or whatever herbs you want or need, that should be great.
Yeah, I think homemade would be better too. So I just need to learn how to do it because I am purchasing it from a small business,
Mhm.
and it's not too terribly expensive in comparison to what balsamic vinegar is, thankfully. But I really, really like it on a salad. Um,
Yeah, yeah. You should try it. You'd be surprised because you can add the thing with making your own. You can add and take away whatever you want. If you don't want rosemary, put more basil and more thyme, or you can put what you want in. If you want mint in there, just throw some mint in it
oh,
and
I
let
bet
it
that would
ferment.
be good. Oh my goodness. No, I do infused olive oils.
Hmm.
And oh, they are so good.
Oh yeah.
So good.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
well, Sherrie, thank you so much for sitting down and chatting with me. I have wanted you on my channel like this for a long time because seriously, this is the woman who got me on YouTube, and I am so appreciative to you. You are like a sister to me, and I am just so honored that I've met you, and I'm so glad we met through my mom's channel, and I'm so glad that you came over there because
Yeah.
you have just touched my life in so many ways. So this is for
Thank
you,
you for
darling.
inviting me. When you sent me the email, I'm like, yes, ma'am. We will find time and get it done. But I'm so glad, to be able to sit down and talk to you. We
You,
definitely did this. I appreciate you. And you were a sponsor of Soil Family Expo
I
2020.
was.
So we
All
appreciate.
those sunflower seeds.
Yes, we from all over the world. So, and we
Oh,
are going to plant more this year here at Black Tropical. So we appreciate you in that. And of course, we appreciate all of the.
yes, the ink pens. I know this is the one that my husband made me. I finally got
Oh, I
one,
love that.
and
It's
it's
a
a
company.
fidget spinner. Whoops. And so you just sit and you spin. It's kind of hard to see
That
on camera,
is
but this is spinning.
amazing. Wow. Yeah, but my
Yeah.
husband loved this. He always like, what you doing with my pen? I'm like, babe, I just need to write something. I'm sorry.
My husband enjoyed making both of your ink pens, and I mean, he just was like, "This is for Sherrie, this is for Bobby," and like, okay.
Oh, yeah, he loved this. He was showing it the other night on the live. He was like, look at this pen. I know we supposed to be interviewing, but look at this ink pen. So yeah, we appreciate y'all, and we are here for y'all. We love you dearly.
Well, I feel the same way about you and Bobby, and so does my husband. He feels the same about you guys as well. So we send our love to both of you guys, and please tell Bobby I said hello. So well, thank you so much, you guys, for hanging out with us. If you're not a subscriber of Black's Tropical Homestead, what are you waiting for? The subscription is free. I've dropped the links. Go on over, hit that like button and the subscription buttons, and be ready to be part of an awesome family because that's exactly what is going on over at their channel. So, well, thank you guys so much. We hope that you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure you give somebody a hug. We'll see you next time. Bye.